Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Have you ever come across an introvert? Or are you possibly an introvert? Or do you even know anyone that is an introvert? If you do, you understand how they think differently and are pretty much uncomfortable in certain situations. Well, and if you have not come across anyone, I want to enlighten you today on the things that really irritate introverted people. It's going to be a lesson for those of us that are not introverted to learn prior to engaging introverted people. Let's get into it. Many people don't realize this, but introverted people have a big problem with unscheduled meetings. Yes, guys, unscheduled meetings could be a very big problem for those that are introverted. They don't like the uncertainty or the unplanned calls. They don't want you to engage them unless it's planned and they have time to prep for that engagement. So guys, stop with the unscheduled calls and let them know in advance if you would like their participation. Small talk. Many people understand that we have to interact with each other by way of talking or at least emailing, sometimes texting, some method of communication. But small talk is not something that you would find very interesting to an introverted person. They would like to keep the talking down to a minimum and possibly not talk at all if they had their choice. If they must engage with you, they would love a more meaningful, deep conversation that has some type of true intent so that they can engage and respond. But if it's small talk, more times than not, they do not want to be a part of it. Attending large parties. Most introverts enjoy the company of themselves. They really don't need a whole lot of engagement from outside people in order to have a good time. So large parties is not something that most introverts would engage in. And if they had to, you better believe they would be probably the least likely person to make rounds in the room and enjoy the company of other people. You have some people that want to be directly in the center of everything. Well, that's not the introvert. The introverted person does not want to be in the center of anything. They're pretty much okay with not being around most people. And if they are, they don't want to be the center of your attention so that you can engage with them most often with small talk. So by all means, don't make them the center of attention if you want a positive outcome from them. If you're a person that need a immediate response or a quick decision made by an introvert, think again because there's a great likelihood most often they're not going to feel comfortable with making quick decisions. They want time to actually think about what it is they're deciding upon. And it's pretty much on their time. So it's in your best interest not to rush an introvert. It will not end well. Not to mention, you will not get the decision that you're expecting. In today's environment, at work, at home, even at church, different places, everyone are on this big group project, group initiative process. It is something that is welcomed by those that love engaging with others, but not so much by your introvert. Introverts are not okay with being a part of a group project. They are the group, all one of them. And if they do become involved with a group, it's usually people they're extremely comfortable with and people they want to engage with, but not too much because overstimulation is easy for an introvert. In order for us to grow professionally and personally, many times we're asked to attend a networking event. For some, it's perfectly fine and they love that type of attention and interaction and they can work the entire room. But for an introvert, it is not one desired place to be. They don't really want to be in an environment networking with a bunch of people that they don't know. Introverts really want to build a relationship, but they want to do it over a period of time gradually. They don't want to speed date people, so to speak, in order to engage them for any need, even if it's just from a friendly standpoint. They just don't desire it. Social interactions or gatherings, it's in your best interest and the interest of the guest to not invite an introvert to social gatherings where you expect a whole lot of interaction from them. Let's face it, guys, introverts are okay with being alone or being by themselves or in small groups, but they don't want to be a part of a social interaction exchange with a large number of people. It's just not their vibe. They don't want to do it. Okay? If the environment is loud and people are busy doing a whole lot of things, don't invite your introvert or don't even expose them to that. This type of environment will definitely overwhelm the vast majority of introverts. And it will make them further shut down and isolate and not want to be a part of not only that environment, possibly you, the person that brought them into that environment, knowing that they are an introvert. If you want to be friends with an introvert, do not change the plans often or very frequently. If you are one that will change plans at the last minute, it's going to frustrate your introvert friends. So, by all means, when you set a plan, try to stick to it as much as possible if you want to involve your friend who you know may be an introvert. In a work environment, we all want to have our own things on our desk. But an introvert not only need a desk, if you can get them to come into the office, they do not want an open office space. They want their own office that's isolated from everyone else, or just the four walls that's private so that they can actually do their work. They don't need or want or desire to have an open office space at all. So if you want to maximize their productivity, you want to minimize the instances where you're putting an introvert among everyone else. All of us get some type of anxiety most often when we are asked to do some type of public speaking. If a public speaking engagement involves an introvert, you better make sure that you let them know in advance. Any impromptu speaking engagements is a no-go for an introvert. Don't do it. Don't try. Not today, not tomorrow. They're not going to be okay with it. Everyone loves to be congratulated and celebrated in a work environment. However, for your introverts, don't give them praises in the group setting, and especially don't give them ongoing praises or over the top type praises because they don't require that. They don't like it and they don't need it. So if you're going to tell them they've done a great job, it's better to do so in a more intimate setting or in a smaller setting, but definitely not over the top and on a continuous basis because sometimes they feel a little uncomfortable in that regard. And last but not least, frequent team meetings. It is very irritating to introverts. And quite frankly, I think it's irritating to many people. But introverts really do not like frequent meetings. In fact, they often think those meetings are stressful and unnecessary. Not to mention, they can be overwhelming and draining for many. So if you have a choice, minimize the team meetings. So if you can, make sure that you're not scheduling too many team meetings or even family meetings for the introverts in your life or on your team at work. Trust me, you will get maximum productivity and you'll get a lot of engagement from them by meeting them where they are, which most often is somewhere alone. This is Dr. Mo. I hope that this has been very helpful for you. If you like this content, please share it with someone else. Until next time.